My name is Donald Knight. I was 6, almost 7 when my mom died. It was July 4th of 1994. It's kind of why I don't really like that holiday anymore. She was killed. She died by a gunshot wound to her neck. And luckily, he didn't turn the gun on me and my younger brother because we were actually in the same room. I can't say that it was like the best way to grow up, but I was put on a lot of responsibilities early. So that's why it ultimately became us re-entering in the system, because I had to take care of me and 4 other kids while my sister worked 2 jobs to help pay bills and keep food on the table.
My name is Karla Aguilar. I'm a junior at the University of Texas in Arlington, and I'm a major in criminal justice with a minor in Spanish. It was my sophomore year in high school. I came to school with some bruises and dark shades in my eyes, and it was a lot of heavy makeup on my face. It was obvious that I had been through something. My ESL teacher, she's the one who saw me, and she's the one who called CPS to refer me to CPS. I have been touched and raped since I was 6 years old by my mom's boyfriend. They were together since I was about 2 years old. Since 6 years old, like I didn't know what was going on. I was scared.
CASA is a nonprofit organization that helps abused and neglected children to find the safe homes that they deserve. CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates, and that refers to the volunteers that we train and supervise who monitor these cases for the court so that they can make recommendations to the judges about what's best for each child. When you give a child in crisis a friend, someone who's going to hold their hand, someone who's going to explain what's happening to them, someone who's going to make sure that they get the services they need, someone who's going to make sure that if they move from foster home to foster home, that they're going to be okay in the new school. And if they end up being in foster care for a very long time, someone to be there for them, to pack their bags to go to college. These kids have great potential, but they have to have help in reaching that potential, particularly when they're in such crisis in their lives. And that's what CASA does. It helps these children while it helps the court.
CASA is indispensable. They bring me information and insight that is crucial to my decision-making process.
To be a CASA, you really have to have a heart for children. This is difficult work. It is emotional work. It is time-consuming. It will take a lot out of, a well-adjusted individual. Good afternoon, everybody. This is really exciting for you all. So welcome to the 305th District Court. I'm going to need you all to stand and raise your right hands, and we're going to get you sworn in. Do solemnly swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear or affirm. That is a trained CASA volunteer.
I was watching TV and really disturbed about all the abuse and neglect that I was watching on the news, and really felt like somebody should do something about the situation. And it occurred to me that I could be that somebody.
CASA does an amazing job of training us. It is hard not to look at these children and say, okay, if I could scoop them all up and give them a forever home, I would do that. That's not the reality.
As a CASA volunteer, it's very important to sustain that trust with the child. Once you break your word, trust is broken. So you want to establish that trust, keep your word, do what you say you're going to do, be who you say you are, and do what needs to be done.
When I walk into a room and they hear me speak Spanish, the children's eyes just light up. It's somebody is here to help me, and they speak my language.
I'm involved in CASA because it is beyond my capacity to imagine how much these kids have suffered.
Well, I believe that everybody deserves a shot in life. And Dallas CASA provides that. CASA volunteer enters inevitably a very difficult situation and seeks to level the playing field so that the child in question has a chance.
There's no one else in Dallas that is able to provide the service that a CASA volunteer provides. And there's no more critical point in a child's life than when his family system has just broken.
The main thing is you've made a positive difference in that child's life. You haven't necessarily given them nirvana, but you've taken them out of a very bad situation and given them a voice.
Folks like myself on the board, we try and make the resources available. The mission really gets delivered with those CASA advocates that are out there day in, day out, going to hearings, doing visits with kids. They're working all these things into a very busy schedule.
Our volunteers have all of the energy and enthusiasm and what I like to call entrepreneurial spirit that they can bring to a problem that really makes our country great today.
You and I need CASA because when you read a story in the media and you hear of a tragedy, you're outraged. And I think what CASA does is provide a way to channel that outrage into action.
Social organizations like CASA often provide great benefits to our society, but sometimes they're not so well run. And this is a very well run organization where the good intentions are manifest by great results.
The only piece of unfortunate news about CASA is that we can't reach every child who needs us.
It is a horrible feeling when I get the call that I cannot appoint a CASA on this case because there are no more available volunteers. I feel that I've shorted the child.
We would love to have more CASA volunteers available to us. Unfortunately, we're in the position that we pick and choose which cases to put them on. With more volunteers, we would absolutely assign them to more of our cases.
It's desperately important that we be able to take on 100% of the cases that come to our attention of children who have been abused and neglected and really need that kind of help. And it saddens me deeply that the best we can do is 40 or so percent.
The amount of money it costs to support a CASA volunteer relative to the amount of money it takes to support a child in foster care makes it a very strong economic proposition and help increase the odds of getting a positive and permanent end result.
My first impression of Ron is, it was just another face at the time to me, because going through this process of going through this home and that home, it was not an automatic connection.
The first time I went to see him, I remember he was kind of this tough, angry young man. He seemed to be mad at something and didn't really know what it was. He bounced around for a few placements for that first year or so. Everywhere he went, I went. I went to his basketball games. I went to his football games. Everything he was doing, we were part of it. He began to make a positive change for himself.
I tell him every time I see him, I tell him thank you, because he, honestly, he's been one of those people that you're trying to make me choke up now. You've just been an amazing person for me, and I really appreciate it, because a lot of times without you, I don't think I would have made it as far as I have.
Well,
I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. It's been more of a pleasure for me, believe me.
Whenever I was in foster care, I did a lot of dumb stuff just to get attention to. I was wild, but she became like somebody I can put in a pedestal. She have guided me through everything.
I tried to bring to Karla a constant. I'm just so proud of you, Karla. Just you continuing to keep your sweet, soft spirit and your trusting soul and your positive outlook and your will to make your life better and to make things better around you.
You're my hero. You're my hero.